this is Texas Tiger Diggs again. And you know how I once said that the only danger of having a potentially expensive hobby, and this hobby can be reasonable to expensive, metal detecting, is the odds-on chance you're going to get involved with another expensive hobby, and that's photography. Back in my ancient younger days, my first major was photography, which I did for one semester, and finally ended up being a liberal arts major, and ended up with a degree in history and government, which then I used to its utmost and became a IT guy. Yeah, doesn't make any sense, I know, and that is the God's honest truth. I got to be an IT guy because my parents, God rest their souls, moved into a neighborhood with a lady who worked for a temporary service, not advertising the service, but it was called Kelly at the time. You know, back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, or whatever, it was Kelly Girl, and then they got into IT. So I got into IT because I could type 40 words a minute because my mother, who was a business teacher, made me go to learn how to type. So that's the story of how your profession gets. So, ladies and gentlemen of all ages, particularly kids, your ambitions will change as your circumstances change, and what you do in school may have only tangential relationships to the thing you end up doing in life. So I just want to tell you that I'm almost up to 30 years in the IT business. So that's what I did. In any case, we're going to do some photography here, and basically I'm still sticking with my metal detecting roots, but what I do in metal detecting has ended up being a lot of photography. So I started with action cameras and then ended up getting a real camera. This Sony, I think it's a NEX F3, was the first borderline serious camera I got, and it does some pretty whiz-bang things. And I have taken this out in the field to some degree or not. Just hung it over my head and taken it out. So it does have a little batters and brakes, and it has a little quirky little display screen that doesn't go in as good as it used to because it had some contact with Mother Earth. But I also got something that, and I'm going to be using some of these on a different project I've got. Some of it may end up being on YouTube, and a lot of it may end up being otherwise used. But back when I was first getting in, they had old film, and they had single lens reflex cameras, and they have those now. They're just digital. So I ended up with a Nikon DSLR, which is a digital single lens reflex camera. And it's got a lot of whiz-bang features in it, of course. And so I ended up getting one of these. And, it's Santa Claus often delivers me one stupid thing every year. In fact, that's what I do. Nobody buys gifts perfect for me, better than me. So I decide that every year I'm going to buy something reasonably stupid and somewhat expensive. And then that's going to be my Christmas present. So I'm going to be my favorite person's favorite Santa Claus, which is me most of the time. So this is the digital single lens reflex camera, and I'm just now getting it up and out and ready to rock and roll. And the thing about when you get a camera that's a pretty good camera, you also have to get your micro SD cards. They're also high end, and these aren't cheap. But so basically I'm going to get this going, and I'm going to stop and using this, and being your average man about town, I'm going to do what every man about town does, and I am going to actually get this together and get it up and going with a minimal read of the instructions. Of course, to use it, I'm going to be doing a lot of reading. But so let's get this started. Like I said, this is related to my detecting, and I'm going to be taking pictures of finds where actually I might even be able to see the smaller hallmarks and or God God willing K rating of the many rings I'll be bringing in. But this is not the purpose. Its purpose is something wholly different. But we'll see how it works, and I'm going to get this together. So I'm going to pause this for a second, and I'm going to get some scissors and cut into some of these packages that are made by armored car companies, and so they're so difficult to get into. So hold on. All right, here we go. I have beaten my way into this thing, thanks to a very sharp set of expensive kitchen knives that I shouldn't have to begin with, because I cook rarely, if at all. And I have a little adapter here, which is pretty cool. You have to put the smaller memory card into the larger shell to get it up and going. And proudly enough, I'm getting this in with absolutely no recourse to the directions. AV out, and this is my mic, etc. All right. So basically, I'm just going to get this up and going, and let's just see how well I can do, completely ignoring the initial requirements for documentation. Bingo. Don't need any stinking documentation. At least not initially. We'll need it at some point. But we just simply look in, find which way to go. This is years of flying by the seat of my pants that's developed into an intuition for how to put things apart minimally without destroying things. I do not like things with external battery chargers, of course. And of course it has an external battery charger. Okay, so what I'm hoping is it's going to have an initial charge. So this is a standard. I'm going to get a macro lens because I'm not really interested in taking long shots. I'm basically interested in taking close-up shots. I'd rather take pictures of small things than pictures of large things. So here we go. There we go, guys. Look at there, no recourse to the documentation yet. I am proud of myself. People said, won't you break things? Yeah, but what's the fun of documentation? All right, I have a little cover here. I'll take this off, and I have a dial here that says off and on. Voila. See what I mean, guys? Look at this. Documentation. Still in the baggie. All right, now let's see if I can set this thing. All right. My language is English. I am in the Central Time Zone in America. And I simply check the year, month, and date, which I believe is the day before Thanksgiving, which is the 26th. Okay, I'm going to do month, day, and year. Daylight savings time. We don't have daylight savings time. And here we go. And the only thing I have to do now is to check the time. So I take out my outmoded digital watch here. My digital phone, my outmoded phone. This is not my phone, by the way. This is the phone I have from work. So here we go. So it says I need to go to the year. The month, which is the 11th, and today, which should be the 26th, We'll make the hour. 22. We'll make the minute. 23. And then we're going to go, okay, done. Before picture, okay. We take that off. Before taking the pictures, it wants us to rotate the lens. So, gentlemen, I go menu, flicker reduction, language auto. Cool. I've got no images there. Cool. Okay, I can do a single frame. Continuous, release, step timer, delayed remote. Cool. Alright. Okay, guys, here we go. Now that is what you call putting your camera together with minimal resources to your directions. So that's about as far as I'm going to go. So I thought I would show that. In any case, this is the camera. This is the camera I'll be using. I'll be using this one in the house. But I do want a macro lens, which allows me to get close, because I'm going to be taking some close shots. So I thought I'd just give you an example of that. And this is another one that does a lot of the same thing this camera does, but it's with a removable body. But when you buy a camera, if you're going to use a camera for YouTube or anything else, remember the important thing about the camera is this: if you do not want to spend a lot of extra money, then get a simple camera, because what costs you so much on these cameras is the lens. The lenses are very expensive. The lens, some lenses are more expensive than the camera, and in the lens, and for instance, the macro lens for this is worth 2/3 of the cost of the camera. Not so much on this camera, not because it's cheap, but just because this camera is a little bit more expensive. In any case, that's all I wanted to show you. In any case, I'll be using these cameras, and now I've got a Pivothead coming in. I've finally just gone over the deep end and got the Pivothead. I've had pretty good luck with the other cameras I've had with the 1080p view glasses, and I have another one which is the exact same model, but it appears to have a better focus point, because if anybody has used these camera glasses before, they tend to give a heightened view, so you're always at the bottom of the frame if you're in the frame at all. The view is better, but I want to get the Pivothead a shot and see how it works. In any case, that's a little wool gathering about cameras and the danger of a expensive hobby becoming another expensive hobby. So you can take that as an object lesson. But in any case, yeah, I'm going to be back on the digs, like I said, in the near future. Got a holiday coming up. Going to hang out with the family. Going to grab a little turkey. Going to supply them with sweet tea. I personally can't stand tea, so I will be drinking pop. So, nothing against you tea drinkers. In any case, this is Texas Tiger Digs, and I will catch you next time. And be sure to keep watching this. My videos won't always be this long, rambling, ridiculous recounting of my history, and showing one new stupid toy, one old stupid toy. You have a good day. I'll talk to you later.